So welcome, I'm trying to show you guys a little base tour. This is a snippet from the stream, so I don't have a recording set up, so the quality isn't as high as you may used to be with a Minecraft stream. But anyway, I wanted to do this because not much people play Gregtech, and this pack is pretty Gregtech involved. So the pack is Fire in the Pipe, sometimes called Fire in the Pipe 2, on the version 2.3.3. With one of the main mods is Gregtech 5 unofficial, and a lot of other mainly used mods like Botania, Thaumcraft, and some mods that are used to make the game harder. For example, you respawn with 5 hearts, have no health regen, spice of life, hunger overhaul, and so on. But that's a little bit on detail. Too much detail. Let's go a little bit to the base. And still, all of these is done in survival, so no cheating, no creative building. We are 2 people playing this pack and do a lot of building and technical advancements, so we keep the balance to keep the game interesting. And it's around about 4 months now we are playing, and we have fun with this pack, and we are pretty much mid-game Gregtech, so we are at extreme voltage machines we have, but we don't have fusion reactors or something like that. But even we wanted to show, and a lot of corners are still work in progress. So if you can see, we have a nice front, but we have no roof. So let's start. We really wanted to build here because of the mesa. It isn't good for progression. For progression would be better more humidity biome. That's the reason the garden area is there. We will go there soon. This is pretty much the starting point. We went here into the mountain. We got rid of the roguelike dungeon down here because there are mobs in, and the mobs on the long run lag out the game, so we get rid of the whole thing. We start with the garden area. Little pits for our wood. We don't have an automatic wood farm. We don't need so much. With an axe from Tinkers is pretty much okay. The garden area contains a lot of the Pam's Harvest Craft foods. You can grow them with bone meal, so little fields. Bigger field for wool and string, it's blue power flax. And the pretty much plantation of the Pam's Harvest Craft fruit trees. The holes here are for the missing kinds. The trade station to get everything, or not the trade station, market isn't available in this pack, so we have to search or get lucky with villagers. On this front side here, that are IC2 crops. Pretty much, or not a lot of people use them. We use them even early game because they are with wood, you can get everything, and then you can get things like from this blaze rods, gunpowder, eggs, coffee, some metals. There's a coal plant, that is oil berries, quartz. You can get a lot of things you don't normally get from other mods. This is a little bit later. Then we have a farm that is a crop harvester from Industrial Craft. It's a little bit gated behind, but so with it we have oil production, and here something like ender pearls we get from this plant, quartz also automatically, and diamonds. And we tried to keep the design to the whole base, so everything upstairs is spruce wood, oak fence and sandy stone, to keep a little bit of a theme. There you see a little bit of the Botania, that's a little bit later. We have here a forestry farm. The output goes down, there's a processing line. There I come also later. Because the pack has spice of life and it's set to 80 foods, you need a lot of food and different kind of foods and meals. So we have here music food. Oh, yes. I forgot about the music.
Penny hat alles für deine Silvesterparty. Jetzt vorbeischauen und mitsparen. Und es kommt.
Damn it, I don't want to start again because I forgot to turn down the music. I will continue. Let's see what YouTube makes with that. So you need a lot of foods for this. In the beginning we used, this is a bread production, by the way. All the machines you need to make bread. You can't just put wheat into an oven. That's not how it works in this pack. So there are a lot of different foods we can choose from to get always our hunger topped off. We used for sorting in the beginning a blue power system. That's relay is over at the garden, pumps it out. It searches always for the nearest inventory, and then there's an overflow inventory that's gated behind a restriction tube. Everything it doesn't find a storage drawer, it goes into an overflow chest. And recently we got to AE2. It's still early because it's really difficult to get and really later, not a thing you can get in the beginning because everything is gated behind something. There we have a little tinker smeltery to get the tools, and this is our main storage room, or area more to say. It's all with drawers and a drawer controller in the middle. It's sitting here downstairs, and then an e-controller, so we can it says everything from the AE system. Also everything is connected to the blue power pipe, so we can put it in here and then it will go into the system also. The machine area we take a little bit later. So here's the walkway, you see the garden on the right. Then the Botania area, a little of a Botania setup with a cake production to get easy mana. This is an area to fight the Gaia Guardian. We will build there a little bit nicer. Then there's a back entrance to the Thaumcraft area, or the Thaumcraft Cathedral as I like to say it, because I built a little bit here, with a little bit downstairs, still not finished. I have to do a little bit of more. Here's the pathway to a witch farm. There's a witch's circle. With the witch farm you can get early on regen, because normal regen is off, and there you can get regen potions. Here we are on the back side of the machine park. There are many different ways to get up and down and around. This is pretty much an island with low voltage machines, the everyday need with power generation in the middle, battery buffers, and then you have little islands of the machines you use. This is a medium voltage machine. There's a clean room setup, a small one. Don't need any more yet. This is the main hub for crafting. Tools, chests, and chests we don't have storage for. It's a nice little thing. Oops, not down yet. Next would be a storage of the circuits. The circuits are really a big thing in Gregtech. Different kinds that takes a while to get used to. This is a future extreme voltage, high voltage area with the back. Still work in progress because I have to think about a nice roof. Here are some high voltage machines and some multi-blocks, vacuum freezers. These are electric blast furnaces, implosion compressors. The things you need in Gregtech. These are automated processing lines. For example, we put cable in and get coated cables out. And multi-smelter, nice for smelting big amounts of things. And these are little machine areas to get gases downstairs. Here's our distilled water. If you plan early enough, you can use a few solar distillers. You don't need a big distillation setup, because if you start early on with this little setup and pump it into a tank, you will always have enough of it. You have to start early. If you don't get 100 buckets early on, but on the long run you will have enough. So we go downstairs. In this corner here, it's pretty much back to the kitchen. Here's a little short way. Back to the kitchen. Here is a charcoal pit. The only way to get charcoal is a pyrolyzer oven from Gregtech. That's expensive, or a pit of this kind. You put in logs and they turn then with this igniter to charcoal. We made it a little bit smaller. We don't need it anymore, but we wanted to keep it. You can do it 11 by 11, so a pretty big amount you can get from it. Here's the automatic or an automatic compression setup. That's our lock drawers. They get sucked out already, and then the special chest compress it and put it into the blue power system, back into a normal storage, so we don't have to deal with tiny piles or something. They always end up here and get automatically compressed. Our real small AE2 system. And then about energy. We get oil from the oil berries and mining, put it in the distilleries. It's a little bit later game. You can do it earlier with only chemical reactors. They are here. The chemical reactors turn sulfuric fuel into normal fuel, and with the distillation towers you get 4 different kinds of fuels of the oil. We take the sulfur out and then pump it into our main fuel tanks. Heavy fuel, light fuel, heavy fuel, naphtha, and LPG. That's empty in the moment because we use so much. Oh, sorry, I turned it off for now. We turn the heavy fuel into, with an oil cracking unit and steam, into steam cracked another distillation tower to get all the different kinds of things you need for plastic production in Gregtech. That's pretty much mid-game, early game. You can't do it in the beginning, but later on you can use everything. We use iron tanks because all the other tanks are deactivated except from Gregtech, and they are very expensive and we are just being able to make them. So at the moment it's all about these tanks. All other tanks are deactivated. So a lot of iron to mine. The other fuel production we've switched pretty much shortly before. It's the best fuel in the pack is cetane boosted diesel. You get that from fish oil and biochaff with with fermented biomass. With this processing line here, fermented biomass, distillation tower, a lot of tanks, a lot of machines in chain. In the end, you will get the cetane boosted diesel. That's the best power source in the game. Most people play Gregtech with what's it called, with steam and pyrolyze oven and a wood farm, but we decided against. For one, everybody plays it this way, and on the other hand, steam can explode. This can take fire, but we aren't so afraid of steam explosions. And as you can see, we tried to build it a little bit nicer. Oh, by the way, I forgot, there is the farm above for the potatoes, for the biochaff and soybeans that are turned into fish, and fish oil is the main ingredient for biodiesel, which will turn to cetane boosted biodiesel. We have here a little villager farm jail with an airlock. A little comparison, this is a normal piping system. We started to painting them because we lost a little bit too many pipes. Sometimes the pack you can call too many pipes, not fire in the pipe. Also, here's a little way, shortcut way back to our main hub. And this is in work at the moment, up to our top of the mesa. So that was pretty much a round tour of the base mid-game. If you have questions, do them under the video or come with it on the stream. I stream regularly and trying to figure out a schedule, not yet, but maybe we will see us. So have a nice day and goodbye.